get it. Don't get it. Not fun. No. All right. So, can you look at a graph and tell me the slope and y-intercept? So this should be review. I'd like you to determine from this graph. This is a great quiz and test question. Sahib. So you should have your notes open. And from this line, let's find the slope and the y-intercept. Babe, what's the easiest to start with? The y-intercept. Okay, and what letter is the y-intercept? B. So what is B? B is positive 1. Okay, M is our slope. If we have a graph, it's easiest if we use rise over run, I think. So we find a nice point, not a mean point. By nice, you know what I mean? Whole numbers. Okay, where's a nice point? -3 and 3. That's a nice point. Okay, so what's my slope? We are moving, so we should always rise before we run. Right? In the mornings, you have to get up before you can actually move your legs. Rise before we run. So we are going what direction? They're not going one direction. That's funny. Okay, -2 down 2, so that's a -2, and then right is what sign? +3. So our slope is -2 over 3. All right, so if we know our slope and our y-intercept, we can write our equation. What's the equation? Y equals -2/3 x plus 1. Very good. Easy? Good. Okay, good. We're going to skip this next. What are we? Yeah, let's skip this question and move on. Okay, so review. We talked about this last day. How many points at the very least are required to draw the line of a graph? 2. Okay. Often the 2 easiest points would be the x-intercept and y-intercept. Okay, the x and y-intercept. So let's review finding the x and y-intercepts. How do I find the x-intercept? Set y equal to 0. Okay, so in our equation, which is 2x minus 3y equals 6, I have 2x minus 3 times 0 equals 6. Good. All right, what happens here, Alex? You don't know. Maybe you need to be with us. Jack, you want to give it a shot? No? We have 2x minus 3 times 0 equals 6. What can we simplify? Anything times 0 is 0. So we're left with, there you go, 2x equals 6. X is equal to 3. Thank you. Maybe you should get this down. Okay, so the x, when y is 0, x is 3. X-intercept is 3. Y-intercept. Our sheep, how do I find that? We set x to 0. 2 times 0 minus 3y equals 6. Now, what am I left with? just negative 3y equals 6. The 2 times 0 is just 0. It's gone. Or y equals negative 2. If we divide both sides by negative 3, y is negative 2. Okay, you need to be able to find x and y-intercepts. It's a very important skill. A skill that you're going to use all the way till kingdom come. As long as you're in a math class from now on. It's assumed that you know how to find x and y-intercepts. Okay, so let's move on. This is review. X-intercept is the place where the graph crosses the x-axis. Oops, that's not a pen. Let's try that again. X-axis. So to find the x-intercept, we may make y 0. Y-intercept is a place where the graph crosses the y-axis, where we make x 0. Okay, do you want to, I would like you to try, which one would you want to do? A or B? B. B, okay. Try B, find the x and y-intercepts. We'll review here. We've done this before. All right, really quickly. X-intercept, we make y 0. So 4x plus 2 times 0 equals 16. Or 4x equals 16. Divide by 4, x is 4. Y-intercept, we make x 0. 4 times 0 plus 2y equals 16. Or 2y equals 16. So that makes y 8. I don't have a graph, but really quickly, x of 4, y of 8. Draw the line. Always extend your line. Don't just join the 2 points. It should keep going up. Okay, let's move on. Let's start with something new. Horizontal lines have a slope of, okay, that's not new. Vertical have a slope of undefined. You also might hear it called not defined. It's the same thing. I like undefined better. Can you call it what? Error? You have to call it undefined or not defined. Those are the proper words. It's true, it is an error because you can't divide by 0, and that's why it's undefined. You can't define the slope. It's independent. It's like, you can't define me. Yeah. Okay. So, how do we draw a horizontal line? A horizontal line results when our slope is 0. Yeah, it's really easy, right? So, when will that happen? Okay, let's rearrange the equation. 2y minus 4 equals 0 for y. Let's get y by itself. First step. 2y equals 4. Add 4. Move the 4 over. Then divide by 2. Okay? So our equation of our line is y is 2. No matter what x is, y is 2. So if x is negative 5, y is 2. If x is negative 2, y is 2. If x is 0, y is 2. It's always 2. And so that's why we get a horizontal line. Y is 2. So y equals a number. Whenever you have y equals a number, that's going to give us a slope of 0 and a horizontal line. So, if we have x equals a number, x equals k, some number, it will have a slope of undefined, and it will be a vertical line. So if we have an equation, this is actually called general form, which we're going to be learning about. Actually, it's not general form. My mistake. It should be reduced. But it's similar to general form, which we'll be learning about tomorrow. So let's make this x equals. So get x by itself. First step. Minus 20, good. 4x equals negative 20, then divide by 4 and you get negative 5. So when you have an equation, x equals negative 5, Damon, what would that line look like? Thank you. It'd be vertical through negative 5. No matter what y is, x is always negative 5. Okay, it's going to be a vertical line. Good? Yes, I think that's it, right? So grab your workbook, and I'd like you to open up to page, let's find out, 563. Okay, let's make it more interesting. Write the equation of a line passing through the point 0, 2 and a slope of 5/2. So in order to, at this point in our math career, we need to know two things to make an equation. What do we need to know? You need to know your y-intercept, and you need to know your slope. Okay? At this point, we only know how to make equations using y equals mx plus b. So in order to make that equation, I need to know my y-intercept and my slope. So in this, we are on page 563. So in this example, write the equation of a line passing through the point 0, 2 and the slope 5/2. Do we know both of those things? What do we know for sure? Okay, we know our slope, our m value is 5/2. Do we know our y-intercept? Is 0, 2 our y-intercept? Yes, why? Because x is 0, that is my y-intercept, my b value. Only because, since x is 0. So since x is 0 there, the y value is the y-intercept. Our b is 2. If this was the point 1, 2, that would not be the point of the y-intercept. That's just some coordinate. X has to be 0 in order for it to be a y-intercept. Okay, so our equation is y equals 5/2x plus 2. Okay, we already did a question where we used our through the line. Do you want to do one more, or you feel good? One more. Okay, which one? Want to do the downhill one? Line 2? Okay, let's find the equation of line 2. So, if I want to write the equation of line 2, what do I need to know? The y-intercept, and I need to know the slope. Those two pieces of information. What's the y-intercept of line 2? +2. Good. How do we find the slope from a graph? How? Oh, find 2 points. Yeah, thank you. I just didn't hear you. Find 2 points. So I'll use 2 and 1. And we use rise over run. Must rise before we can run. What is it? Negative down 3, right 2. So -3/2. So what's the equation of our line? So mx plus b, plugging it into the formula, mx plus b, so -3/2x plus 2. All right, let's make it more interesting. Determine the equation of a line that's parallel to y equals 1/3 x plus 4. Am I going too fast, guys? You okay? Yeah? Okay, so parallel to y equals 1/3 x plus 4 at the same y-intercept of y equals 6x minus 7. So we need to figure out our slope and our y-intercept. When a line is parallel, what's important about parallel lines? Thank you. Yay! Same slope. What's the slope of this line? 1/3. We don't ever write the x because our slope is just 1/3. Because it's possible to have a slope of 1/3 x, that actually implies the slope is changing. As x changes, then the slope changes, right? So when we have like a curved line, the slope will actually have a variable. A straight line, it's going to be just a number. Or slope is a third. I don't know if that made sense. But that's okay. Okay, so we just write 1/3. So if is our slope 1/3 as well then? Yeah, because it's the same slope. Do we know the y-intercept? It says has the same y-intercept. What's the y-intercept of this graph? -7, the constant. So our equation becomes y equals 1/3 x minus 7. So in order to make an equation, we need the slope and the y-intercept. B, the line passing through 0, 9 and perpendicular to the line joining 2, -6 and -5, 0. So, in order to make our equation, I get in the habit of always finding your slope first. That should be your first step. So let's try and find our slope. What information is going to help us find our slope? The bottom 2 points, right? It says that we're perpendicular to these 2 points. How do we find the slope when we have 2 points? We have a formula for that. y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Slope formula. Where can you find that? Formula sheet. Good. So we label our first point as x1, y1, x2, y2. So let's plug it in. What's y2? 0 minus -6, be very careful, over -5 minus 2. Okay, what's 0 minus a -6? 6. Good. 2 negatives become a positive. 6 over -5 minus 2, -7. Okay, is that our slope? Is that our slope of our new line? No. Okay, so what's the perpendicular slope? Our slope. Yes, our sheet. +7 over 6. We take the reciprocal and it's the opposite sign. Good. Okay, so now that we have our slope, do we know our y-intercept? Yes, what is it? Why is 9 our y-intercept? Because x is 0. As long as x is 0, then in a coordinate, then that would be the y-intercept. Okay, so what's my equation? Y equals 7 over 6x plus 9. Good. Okay, should we leave it there, or do we need to try one more question? The only thing is, do you need to practice with your graphing calculator, or are you okay with that? Okay, you're okay with that? Okay. Let's do one more question. Let's look at example number 5. I love these questions. Determine the equation of a line that goes through the point -2, +8. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. Let me move it down. Okay. Oh, still more. Okay. That doesn't work well. Oh no. Okay. Something like that. Okay? And parallel to the y-axis. If you're parallel to the y-axis, let's think about that. Yeah, what type of straight line? It's a vertical line, right? It's a vertical line. Going through, so is that an x equals equation or y equals? X equals. Because x is always what number? If you're going through the point -2, 8. -2. No matter what y is, x is -2. Okay. If you're parallel to the x-axis, what kind of line is that? horizontal, and horizontal lines are y equals, in this case, it's always 8. Good. Okay, so that's the lesson for today. We're done the lesson. I'll write the homework on the board. Okay.